Most of us think we own too much stuff. Many of us have considered living with less, working with less, and consuming less. On average, women own 20 pairs of shoes, yet only wear 5 of them. This film examines 3 people who have found different ways of living with less.
To me, minimalism is living within your means and not having things that are just clutter, the things that actually bring meaning to your life and to you and make you happy.
Beth is a 22-year-old software engineer who lives with her fiancé Lee in Manchester. She is an example of what society deems successful. However, after deciding to adopt some minimalist values into her life, she has realised that learning to live with less will make her happier.
Well, at first it was just to get rid of a load of clothes because we knew we had too many. We wanted to just get rid of all the clutter.
We spoke to Diane, a therapist, to give us some insight into the neurology of minimalist practices.
If somebody declutters, it can be metaphorical. So it could have the potential to also declutter the amount that's going on in the mind. So maybe oftentimes you might have things around you, let's say hypothetically somebody has lots of things around them that creates lots of thoughts and triggers. Maybe those thoughts trigger emotions. And by no longer having those things in their environment, they then don't have the thoughts and therefore don't have the emotions.
The next step is clearing out the other parts of the house, working out, does this make me happy? Do I use it? If not, get rid.
Over in Canterbury, Johnny Bush, an architect student, has found an innovative way of escaping the housing crisis by converting his own fully sustainable home. Johnny has lived in the van since 2015 whilst at university.
I believe wholeheartedly in freedom through mobility, and being mobile for me has always been a part of my life since being a kid and getting a bicycle and just having the possibility to go and see places that would be out of my circle of opportunity as a child. And then when I got a car, then it opened it up. I got work through my vehicle, and then when it came to associating my freedom with a vehicle, then I needed freedom in how to live, and this sort of has depicted what I value. As it comes to a student, you get a loan, right, for accommodation and living, and I thought the opportunity of a loan should be to invest in something that's not just time-based, because giving it to private rental landlord, it buys me time in that location. It's not invested in anything more than time. So I didn't want to look at my university and education like it owed me anything.
In the digital age, the traditional 9-to-5 work pattern isn't the only option, which means workers can be more flexible with their hours. Julia is a digital nomad. This means she is location independent and can take her work with her wherever she goes. Julia offers virtual assistant in graphic design, web design, audio production, and other digital creative tasks, which gives her freedom to be anywhere and work. The digital nomad community often meet up to help and support each other, working from coffee shops.
I didn't feel like there was enough freedom in the corporate world. Everything is tied to a location, and I've always really liked to travel. So basically that's just a way to have more freedom in my life and to be more flexible and kind of work when I want to, where I want to, and on what I want to.
People are infinitely different, therefore people's motivation for living with less is different, whether that be decluttering the home or choosing to have freedom and mobility through work or living arrangements. All of this enables people to be more deliberate with their actions, which minimalists say is key to finding a more meaningful life. Beth has decided to take on the Minimalist Challenge Project 333. The trend started out in America and has gained attention worldwide.
Project 333 is where you have 33 items of clothes. It includes your shoes, your coats, all of your work gear, all of your casual clothes, all of your accessories. So you have those 33 items and then they last you for 3 months, and then at the end of the 3 months you can change them, or if you're still happy with them you can keep them. But there are things that you sort of go, well actually I don't wear this at the end of the 3 months, and you can either get rid of it, donate it, or you can swap it for something else.
Back over in Canterbury, we talked to Johnny about how he saved money at university living in the van that took 900 hours to convert. Johnny has modified his engine to run on vegetable oil.
It's cost me less during the time being a student, so my student loan has been for living, but I purchased the vehicle. It costs less than it would have if I was renting. As part of the university experience, it provides facilities for eating, socialising, ablutions facilities, so I have full access to all of them. It would be a different story if I didn't have that, and those facilities have been intrinsic to the project. All you got to do is not drink too much at night, because if you need to pee and it's 2 degrees outside, you're reluctant to do so sometimes. Even if I've got fire, I can't necessarily contain that heat right through till the morning. You're never going to enjoy having to defrost your hot water bottle, are you?
At some point, hopefully not too far in the future, to change my job to something lower paying, because I don't need to be doing the hours I'm doing. I don't need the job that I'm doing. I'm hoping to do something that's self-employed, and then with the rest of the time I want to be volunteering in an animal shelter, because that's something that I actually really do want to do. We want to be earning less and have more time to do the things that are important. We don't want to just be living to work, we want to be working to live. It was quite hard getting rid of some stuff, but once we thought about it, we thought, why do I need this? It might have been, I don't know, a t-shirt or something that had some slight sentimental value. I've got the things that those bits of stuff represented.
Julia is what's known as a third culture kid, because she grew up in a different culture to her parents, which Julia says contributes to her not wanting to settle down, which is why she has chosen to travel the world whilst working remotely. This lifestyle enables Julia to save up to 80% of her wage.
Obviously, if you travel a lot, you don't want a lot of stuff holding you back. My aim is sort of to get down to a backpack and maybe some musical instruments. So it's quite normal for me to want to jump around, to visit people, to sort of learn about different cultures. And if I can do that with my work, then that's perfect, because a month a year is not enough to do that, in my opinion. Gradually having less and less, it makes moving easier. So if that means I can live a lifestyle that's freer, that's sort of the reason for it. Benefits of a minimalist lifestyle are definitely the flexibility. You can worry less as well, so you're generally happier because you're not worried that your life might not be good if you don't own something. I think it has a lot to do with gratefulness, sort of being grateful for what you have, and you don't let your happiness depend on owning maybe a new designer bag or something like that, because you're perfectly fine without it, and you might be able to go and have a great experience instead, which I think long term is going to provide a lot more value to your life.
People can get polarised to ends of a scale. You think that everything's like polarity and neutrality, and if you're polarised to one end of a spectrum, it means that you have something blocking you getting to the other end of the spectrum. So let's say somebody's coming to you saying that they've chosen minimalism, which is definitely one end of a spectrum, whereas having collecting lots of things and having lots of things around them, and hoarding, if you're like a hoarder, would have the opposite end of the spectrum. And so maybe that's causing claustrophobia. So by getting rid of the items, does that bring them closer to neutrality?
I don't think it's black and white either. It's not like you're a hoarder or you're a minimalist. But I think in general society kind of pushes you to constantly consume, and you've got advertising telling you, you're lacking this, or your life could be better if you own this thing. Being a minimalist has changed my outlook in life in the way that I'm more grateful for smaller things. I think I worry less about money. You'd think working freelance, you'd always be worried about that, but I've never been less worried since I've had that kind of freedom, and I know I'm the one who's in control, and you know that you don't have to depend on other people. I would do anything. I'd move into a tent before I start working for a company again, because to me it just felt like a corporate prison. It's very restricted, and I just don't think everyone works 8 hours a day and is productive in that time. You're not rewarded for output, just presence.
Benefits. There's quite a few. I mean, I can be anywhere. Any power that I consume is generated from the use of the vehicle, which in turn the fuel is CO2 neutral because I'm recycling a waste product. Just being anywhere. is the best thing about it, really. All of my utensils are very important to me. The soft furnishings from my mum, the wood has come from my dad's old business that he, had spare from jobs over the years. Yeah, everything has its own embodied characteristics. Yeah, it's given an introspective look at how I do things. I think that kind of structure has done a lot for me, and I value those times far more than seeing them as a burden. I look forward to those moments where you get to use the space. Meant to line up perfectly, so you got your bedside table and that. You got to be okay with being with your thoughts, to know yourself as well, and you learn about yourself along the way. The fire is entertainment in itself. It's needy, it's only little, so it always wants attention. Choices are important. We shouldn't feel like we're like cattle or sheep just being herded. But when it comes to peace and love and everything, this is the sort of icon, really. You got the 60s sort of flower power and everything. Then the 70s oil crisis. People really started to think out of the box, which was good. Important to get a bounce on a bag, at least one. Alright, we've got tea.
We spoke to Beth to see how she was finding her minimalist lifestyle. She doesn't miss any of her possessions and has started volunteering in an animal shelter.
I know that I can be self-sufficient, I can be independent, I sort of trust my ability.
So in order to be comfortable with having less, quite probably means that there's a process that's had to happen in order to be okay with the letting go of the attachments. There's something quite healthy about that.
I think everyone can be happier with less.